Hey guys, welcome back. So this isn't your regular tomato planting video. Most people plant tomatoes, but today we're building an ecosystem. Today I'm putting 4 incredible tomato varieties in the ground, and if you want massive harvests with 0 pests, then this is the video for you. Before we get started, if you're new here, hi guys, my name is Marsha the Blackthumbgardener, and I live in Ontario, Canada, Zone 5B, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe, and if you're returning, welcome back, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Now let's get started. Okay guys, here are all the tomatoes that we've started from seed together. I'm gonna go through the varieties and then we'll get planting. So the first tomato variety I have here is the Sun Gold cherry tomato, and if you want a prolific, super sweet tomato, this is definitely one to try. I haven't grown this in a few years, so I'm excited about adding this one to the list. So the next tomato on the list was a new one that I tried last year. This is, I would say, the cousin of San Marzano, and this is the Posano tomato. This gave me beautiful big plum tomatoes. This is great for making sauce, so I'm adding this to the list again. So the next variety is definitely one you need to have in your garden if you're a small space gardener, and that is plum regale. Guys, I have been growing plum regale in my garden for the past few years. If you like making tomato sauce like I do, this is a great plum variety and it is prolific. Also, bonus, it's a determinate tomato. If you want a prolific plum tomato, this is definitely one that you should be trying. So the next tomato is new to me this year. It was sent over by West Coast Seeds to trial in my garden, like a couple of other things that I've already shared on this channel. This one is the pink Berkeley tie-dye tomato. It's one of those very big plump tomatoes, but the bonus about this one is that it's striped kind of like the pepper that I shared with you in the last video. So this is the pink Berkeley tie-dye tomato. Pretty cool. So the next tomato is also from West Coast Seeds and also new to me this year, but I don't think it's a new variety, and that is called the Sweetheart Grape Tomato. I've had these seeds for quite a while, but I just haven't grown them in my garden, so this year I'm testing it out. Guys, I think that's it. We have 5 varieties of tomatoes that I'm growing this season. Now, I'm not going to be able to plant everything today just because there are spaces in my garden that I'm still waiting to harvest before I plant some of them in, but we are going to get a few of these varieties in the ground today. So in the last video, we planted all of our peppers into the garden. I have a sweet pepper bed that we're at right now, and I also have a hot pepper bed on the other side. So my goal today is to plant some of the tomatoes along the trellis of both the sweet and hot pepper beds. So historically, I've always planted my tomatoes either in my raised beds or in containers, and I've always used a tomato cage with them. Last year was actually the first time I experimented putting my tomatoes up this trellis, and it worked out really well. My biggest issue with growing tomatoes in my garden is space, and yes, I can set up a structure and use string to grow my tomatoes, but I don't want to do that. So we're still going to be adding some of our determinate plants to my raised beds with a tomato cage again, because that's what works for me. But again, do whatever works for you in your garden. But I'm going to be adding 4 tomatoes, 2 on each side of the raised beds. And I don't know how that's gonna go, guys. This is the first time I'm adding that many tomatoes to the trellis, but hopefully it's gonna do well. Now we are gonna have to spend a lot of time trimming up these plants along the way to make sure that they have proper airflow and that there's space for all of those juicy tomatoes at the end of the day. So on this side of the trellis where my sweet tomatoes are, I think I'm gonna add Posano. I had it here last year and it did really, really well. So I'm going to do a repeater and put Posano back here. And then beside Posano, I think I'm going to do the Sweetheart Grapes tomato. Sweetheart Grape tomato. So when it comes to planting tomatoes, generally what I have done in the past, and I will do today, is plant my tomatoes deep. Now I know recently I've seen some videos online where people are recommending not to plant your tomatoes deeply. I think you need to do whatever you need to do that works for you in your garden. I think at the end of the day, you're still going to get a great harvest. So do whatever works best for you. So whenever I plant my tomatoes, I always use worm castings, which I have here. I love this brand. I've used other brands, but this one is my favorite. And the other thing I use is a granular fertilizer. You saw me use this with the peppers, and any of the vegetables that I plant in my garden, I use a granular fertilizer. And when it comes to fertilizer, I've already done 1 round of liquid fertilizer for my brassicas. At the end of this week, I'll do another round of fertilizer. So now I'm starting to put some of my plants on a weekly fertilizing schedule of fish fertilizer, just because they've grown enough that I think it's time to start adding a hit of fish fertilizer. And just for context, I started these tomatoes on April the 7th. That's pretty late. And they're looking okay, but once these guys are in the ground, they're going to explode. Now what I'm doing is just removing some of the lower leaves here. And the lower leaves are not doing well anyway, so it's just a good idea to get rid of that. This one too, down here, I'm just going to get rid of that one as well. And I'm trying to plant it as close to the trellis as possible. There we go. I'm not planting it too deep. Oops, there we go. And then what I'm gonna do as time progresses is I'm going to weave this in and out of the trellis up to a certain point. So let me see if I can just start weaving a little bit of this through. There we go. So now let's plant the sweetheart grape. Okay guys, we have to go to the other side, but before we get there, look at this bed. We have some radishes, arugula, lettuce, spinach. Look at this, guys. I think it's just about time to harvest our radishes. So we're not going to do that this video, but stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe because we'll be doing that harvest very soon. This time I'm planting on this side of the trellis instead of on the outside, just because of how close the outside is to the peppers. So I'm just going to dig a hole here. So I think for this side, I'm going to start off with sun gold, and you only need 1 plant. If you have 2 plants, I don't know. You only need 1. That's how much this plant produces. Again, I'm going to remove some of the lower stems here. I think that's good enough. I might remove this one too. And this one, we have the pink Berkeley tie-dye tomato. Look how gorgeous that tomato is. I know it's just a plant. It looks like all the others, but trust me, this is the one to keep your eye on this season. I'm gonna get rid of some of the lower leaves. I just got rid of 3 lower leaves. And then get this one planted deep. If this works, I'm excited about that because that means I can tuck more tomatoes into the garden. And there you have it. We have our tomatoes planted on the inside of the trellis. And then over here, we have our tomatoes planted on the outside of the trellis. I've talked about this trellis before. The trellis is from Amazon. I picked this up a few years back. And what I've done last season or the season before is that I put this mesh cover up the trellis because I used to put string all the way across to the other side, and the birds would come and eventually eat all the string or take it to build nests or whatever, and it wouldn't last more than a season. So I had this mesh just lying around the garage. It's been a game changer. This way things can climb up the mesh without me having to add string or tie it or do anything else. This is where I usually grow a lot of my sugar snap peas, but this year my peas are over in that section. Hey guys, I feel so good. We finally have 4 tomatoes, just 4 tomatoes in the garden. And guess what? We still have all of these tomatoes here. Now, some of these will go to friends this week. I'm actually doing a drop off of a ton of plants to 2 friends who live in the West End. And again, once that middle bed with the radishes and the lettuce and all of that is cleared, then we can add all of our determinate tomatoes to that bed. Now that we've planted our tomatoes, let's talk about companion plants and what specifically not to plant tomatoes near. Now, first off, you don't want to plant your tomatoes near brassicas. This is why I have an entire brassica patch over here. It's away from a lot of my other crops, specifically those crops part of the nightshade family. So your tomatoes, potatoes, your peppers, and eggplant. Now, I'm not growing eggplant this year, not something that I eat, so I'm not going to grow it. The second thing that you shouldn't plant your tomatoes near is corn. The third thing that you want to avoid planting your tomatoes near are potatoes. Now, I do have potatoes underneath my arch. I planted 2 small containers of potatoes, but I can move them around the garden if I need to. They should be fine for now. Now, what can be planted with tomatoes? Pretty much anything else. In both of the raised beds that I have my tomatoes in, I have other crops like carrots, I have onions, I have some herbs, I have peppers, I think I have oregano, thyme, parsley, all of those crops that are planted with my tomatoes. And today we're going to be adding a few more to round out my companion planting. So the first plant that we're adding to the bed where we have our tomatoes is basil. I feel like you can't plant tomatoes without basil right beside it. These guys are like partners in crime. They go hand in hand. The smell of the basil plant is what detracts a lot of the predators from the tomato plant. So we're going to be adding a few of these beside the tomatoes. The second companion plant that we're adding beside our tomatoes are marigolds. Marigolds are great to plant beside tomatoes because they help prevent root knot nematodes. They also help to repel whiteflies and aphids, just an all-around good plant to have in the garden in general. Now you want to make sure that you're planting French marigolds like this one. Now I have this labeled as Sparsky mix, but I think this is the strawberry blonde marigold. Look at that color. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's get these planted in the garden. I'm going to plant the marigold right in the corner beside this tomato plant. I always tend to plant my marigolds in the corners. I just love the color. I think this is going to look so good. Guys, I'm so happy that this actually survived because this is grown from seeds that I harvested from my garden last year. So last year I harvested strawberry blonde marigold and also the Sparsky mix. So this is grown from seeds I harvested from my garden last year, which I'm really happy about. So I love growing a ton of basil in the garden, and I have a lot of plants that need to go into the garden, and that's because my son loves pesto. I've already had my first harvest of 2026. I clipped some of these basil leaves just because they were getting a bit leggy and I needed to get them into the garden. So we made some pesto earlier this week. My son was very happy about it. We're gonna make pesto all summer long. And if you want the recipe for the pesto I made, I'm gonna link it below. It's not my recipe, it's from Bon Appetit, and I love their pesto recipe. It is so good. So if you want a pesto recipe, I'll link that below. So I think I'm gonna put the basil right in the middle of the two, right by the drip. Oh, I'm gonna adjust the drip a little bit. Look at that. So good. I'm so sorry for the noise around me, but people are mowing their lawn today because it's a beautiful day. Now, before you go, I did want to talk about pests and why companion planting is so important in your garden. Now, there are several pests that will attack your tomato plant. The first one is probably the most destructive, and that's the tomato hornworm. Now, one single tomato hornworm can completely strip the leaves of your entire tomato plant very quickly. So this is one to definitely watch out for. Other pests will include things like aphids, flea beetles, and also the reason why I don't want you to plant your corn near your tomatoes is because there is a pest called the corn earworm. Now, the corn earworm kind of works like the cabbage moth, has the same type of life cycle where it comes in as a moth, it lays eggs, it turns into a caterpillar, and then basically destroys your plant. Having companion plants in your garden around your tomatoes is going to make sure that your plant remains healthy throughout the entire season. Even crops like alyssum is great at attracting beneficial insects into the garden that are going to help deal with some of these pests organically. Guys, I am so happy that we finally got all of the tomatoes into the garden. Well, at least most of them. We still have a bit more planting to do later on, and we got the companion plants in as well. For watering, I'm going to turn on the irrigation just to see if it works, and if it does, that will be it for the day. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see.